I was in the United States Army. I was in the military, 101st and 2nd Infantry Division over in Korea. A hand grenade is something you hold in your hand, and it has a pin in it. It's completely useless until you pull the pin out. But there's a spoon there also. When you release it, the pin is gone, the spoon flings out. You've got 2 seconds to get rid of that hand grenade. 1001, 1002. That's it. When a hand grenade blows up, it's very indiscriminate about who it kills. Now, I've been thinking about releasing a video, but I'm not going to just yet, about my different religious experiences with the different faith walks I've been in. You could call it the religious hand grenade. My fear is that it'll take out people I don't want it to take out, so to speak. With that being said, I watched with great disdain and disgust as our Pope, Pope Francis, welcomed into the Vatican Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden. Now, both of them claim to be Catholic. Now, my whole thing about being, no matter what your faith or religion is, if you don't hold to the tenets of that religion, how can you claim that religion? Same with Biden, same with Pelosi. Now, here's what just gets on me, okay? Biden is for abortion, promotes it. Pelosi is for it, promotes it. Even if they say they're not personally for it, the fact that they're not doing anything to hold back on it. You might as well be for it. You might as well take the knife yourself and do the job. Now, the Pope is leader of the Christian world, the leader of the Catholic world, and the Catholic faith is the largest faith of the Christian sects, S-E-C-T-S. And you would think that he would have a spirit of Peter, since he occupies the chair of Peter, and he would call out a sin. He would call out sin, but he rarely does. He sends mixed messages. He has. I've seen him rail against homosexual behavior and against abortion. Then he welcomes these people in and gives them a hug and tells them what a good boy you are. Biden said that when he left, he said that he was told by the Pope that he's a good Catholic and that, yes, he can have communion. See, some of the bishops here in the United States are trying to, and priests are trying to deny him communion, as he should be. To receive communion, you're supposed to be in good standing with the church, not in open sin, as he is when you promote it. See, now here's the problem with being a pope, or at least this pope. Well, for one thing, mixing state and government. He's also the head of state. He's the head of the Vatican, which is its own little country. So this could be considered a state visit. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I'm going to say something real controversial here to my Catholic friends, or it would be controversial to them. Most of the Reformation would not have happened if we had good popes and good bishops. You remember when Martin Luther walked away, his original problem was indulgences that were for sale. And eventually the Catholic Church agreed with him over that. Now, I know Martin Luther was a fruitcake. He was a nutcase. He had a lot of other issues. But what started his issue was that right there. And then there was Huss, a guy named Huss. I can't remember his first name right now. H-U-S-S was his last name, I think, in the 15th century. The darling of Protestants, even though in reality he was a very good Catholic. Now, he had an issue with the papal leadership, and who could blame him at that time? There were 3 people claiming to be pope. I mean, after a while, you're just like, you know what? Just never mind. Never mind. Years and years ago, I'm talking probably 1,200 years ago, a famous saint said, and I don't remember his name, that the road to hell is paved with the skulls of bishops, popes, and priests. Now, to be fair, I would add church pastors, choir leaders, singers, and many Christian leaders. because the Catholic Church isn't the only one with problems and issues of morality. The Baptist Church right now, the Southern Baptist, is fighting a huge thing with sex scandals. And I'm not pinpointing them neither. This is a common thing. Schools, colleges, it's common. I don't like this Pope. Now, I've had people tell me, well, he's the Pope, and you had to pay attention to what he says, and you cannot show any disloyalty. Wrong. I've never been a person to sit there and just do what someone tells me without questioning it. I have a mind of my own, and you or no one else will force me or embarrass me or cajole me or whatever into just playing along. There was a time when sin was denounced from the pulpits. I don't see that anymore. Well, at least not churches I've been going to. Now, everybody knows what the Catholic Church stands for as far as sin is concerned. They're against it. They even have a book called a Catechism that carefully lays out why they're against it. But when given the opportunity to preach on sin, they're not doing it. At least not that I've seen. Now, to be fair, I have seen some on TV that are. Father Altman and a few others. Certainly not Mr. Martin. And there's another one. Mr. Martin, advancer of the gay agenda in as much as he can with his little office. Now, some people call him Father Martin. I refuse. I refuse. He goes to visit the Pope. Pope pats him on the back, says, keep up the good work. Now, in the name of being pastoral is what this is about. Now, I have to admit, I've never heard of that term until recently. So apparently it means being nice so that someone will come to Christ. I don't see that in the Bible. I don't see it in the Bible. I do see how to handle issues that come up and how to deal with it. But there comes a time when it says, cut them loose, let them go. That's biblical. Not immediately. There's a process. There is a time when it says, cut them loose and let them go. I wish we could get back to that. Not because of my self-righteousness. Believe me, I'm the last person that anybody's going to point to and that knows me well and say he's a saint. I am not that person. But for the good of the church, for the good of the body of Christ, for the good of the bride, the poison has to be excised. It has to be gotten rid of. Y'all give that some thought.